This sun is driving me bonkers. Hey, I'm Janelle and this is toDIYfor. And this is a DIY I've been meaning to do for a very long time because on Pinterest I see all of these cute sayings all of the time. A lot of times on doormats, and I can never seem to find them in stores. So I figured I'll just make my own, and it's a great way to kind of freshen up your entryway for the new season. So I'm just starting with a mat that I got from the dollar store. I've actually had this for a long time. I printed out my saying just on regular paper and thick, bold letters, and I'm going to cut it out with an X-Acto knife. If you don't have an X-Acto knife, you can use scissors. However, the line that you have to cut into the paper, you're going to have to tape that so that it doesn't wreck your stencil. This is just the best way to make a stencil. So once I had everything cut out, which yes, it does take a little while to do, I arranged my papers the way I wanted them. I then actually taped them together and made sure I covered off the entire rest of the area. So I have these safety pins here. You could also use sewing pins to kind of push the paper into the fabric so that it's going to stay there. Now I did this in particular areas where I thought the paper would lift up. This is also how you could add the center of an O or the B, for example. I just chose to leave it out. Now I originally thought spray paint would be my best bet. I already had this at home and it was pretty disappointing. The coverage was awful, as you can see. What I ended up going back with was some indoor-outdoor paint that I had left over from a previous project, and I stenciled that in. So as you can see, this is a little bit of a disappointing reveal, but it's not too bad. I am going to show you how you can fix this. I would suggest not using the spray paint because that's why everything is a little bit blurry around the lines. So stencil it from the get-go, and you shouldn't have to do this step, but I just went around with some black paint and a fine paintbrush and fixed it all. So I'm not going to lie, I have no idea how well this is going to stand up, you know, with boots and whatnot, but it didn't cost me much, so we'll see how it goes. So now your guests can take this two ways. Please come back and bring tacos with you, or please don't enter my house unless you have tacos, depending on the way you put the mat. So very simple and basic, but it's completely customizable, which is great because not only is it going to fit your style, but it'll also fit your personality. So everyone's going to come up with different ideas and sayings for this. I'd love to see what yours says. So send me some photos on Instagram and on Twitter. You can follow me at Janelle Steeper if you do make this DIY. If you're new, thanks for finding me. Thanks for hanging out. I'd love for you to join me again next Wednesday and every Wednesday for new DIYs. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll chat with you next week. Cheers.